I've been playing of Gods and Mortals for a little while, and I've been building up my Greek army. And I talked about in my review about why I like this game. And so I thought I would show the models I've done. Now, I'm not a professional painter. I'm still got a lot to learn. Been watching videos of how other people have painted, and so I kind of went listening to what they did, and I kind of experimented some. So some of these were a work in progress, and so keep that in mind. So one of them, I'm going to start with my gods first, and one of them was Aphrodite, and this was a Reaper model. I think it was like a vampire, and I'm going to move it up here just a little bit. There we go. And I've tried to learn how to paint folds in dresses, but this one I didn't do as well as I had hoped. But partly trying to learn how to do skin properly. And I wanted to give her eyeliner. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. I tried to do some eyeliner on her, some blush, and lipstick. So it was hard to find an Aphrodite, so I found this vampire. And so she doesn't look like a vampire this way. So this was my Aphrodite, experimenting a little bit with how to do faces. Now Artemis here, the archer, some reason it seems like the mold on that side of the face got lopsided or something. I don't know. I painted the best I could, but it just kind of looks a little weird on this side, or like around the eye and everything. Again, trying to learn how to paint the folds. I think I did okay with the antler color, how I did that to make it look like antlers or horns. Also, shading of the cape, trying to learn darker in the recesses and lighter on top. So this is another one of those learning skin, learning folds, and faces. So there's Artemis. Then I had Apollo, which is here. And this one, I'm pretty happy with how I did the skin on this one. Still learning the clothing on that. I tried, like around the banner and all that, I tried to a little darker down there, but lighter up there. But then if you go back, it'll be lighter back here and then darker down there. So I tried my best with that. And trying to do a little bit with the hair there and the clothing. So, but I was really, really happy with how the skin turned out on Apollo here. Then we have Hades. A lot of detail on this guy. And again, I think I'm happy with the skin on it. I'm happy with the face. This one is actually, his mouth is open, so I had to do some with the teeth and everything. Again, trying to learn the folds in the clothing. I don't think I got as well as I wanted with this red. So I'm still going to work on that. Not in this model, but think about how to do clothing better. But a lot of detail on this model. Then there's Zeus. And I tried a different way to do skin on Zeus, and I'm actually pretty happy with this one. I think I like the way I did the skin on this one. A little more paler looking than Artemis turned out. I think I do like how this looks. Again, I think I did the folds on this one a little better than the others. This was the last one I did with folding the folds in the clothes. And so I'm happy with how that turned out. Lighter up here, lighter there, darker in the recesses, light up there. So I'm happy with that. Trying to learn how to do white. So that's a work in progress there. Tried to gray his beard in some. And so that is Zeus. Now I'm going to move on to some of the monsters. Now I did this Minotaur quite a while back, and I'm not happy with the skin really, but it's one of those I'm going to leave it because it's a learning experience. This is to see how I progress. And if I change it, then I won't know, am I improving? So this gives me something to look at, like the clothing here. I'm not happy with how that turned out compared to how like Zeus turned out. But you know, this is a work in progress. This is trying to show growth. So I am not going to change how this model looks. Medusa, I was pretty happy with how Medusa turned out. Try to give her a little paler snake-like skin. Learning how to do that shading. Also did a pattern on her back. And you can kind of see it on the tail here. And so kind of just working some new stuff with this one also. And learning the shading and dry brushing and stuff like that, and trying to do a pattern. So that's my Medusa. And also, like the snakes up here, learning how to do shading up there and dry brushing to kind of bring out the highlights of that. Then I have my Hydra, this old Reaper model I had. This one is mainly learning how to dry brush. So trying to bring out those highlights around the edges of the armor and stuff like I've seen people do. The claws, I wanted to look dirty. So I kind of did the claws dirty, but as you see, the teeth are pretty clean. And so is the tail spike. So that is that model. That's just a lot of practicing dry brushing with that one and trying to hit these edges here to bring those out. And then also experimenting with trying to make dirty claws versus clean. Then I have my Chimera, which is, I think this is an old Reaper model. This one I wanted to have a metallic look to it. So it's got the 3 different colored heads, and actually had the sepia this one down. It was like bronze, but it matched too much. It looked too much like the gold, so I had to kind of sepia it down to get it a little different color. I also tried to blend the colors down into the chest. So you kind of can see the silver there kind of going down into the chest here, instead of just abruptly starting the silver. The gold's going down, and so is the bronze. And again, it's just learning to work with metal, learning the shading. And this one, I did gloss coat because I wanted to keep it that shiny metal look. And another thing I did on it was the inside, like this neck part here, is actually a lighter color of metal than what's on the hide. And that's on all of them. So like this gold here is a lighter gold color actually. And I had 2 different colors of gold from 2 different companies. So the gold in here is lighter than this gold. This bronze is actually lighter than this bronze. It may not show up on the camera, but it is actually there. And so that is my Chimera. Now I'm left with the men. And what I did was somebody at the game store had some models he bought, which were these, which were 28 millimeter. So they worked. So I bought those from him, and he had Amazons. I was like, cool. So got those. So painted up. Most you need is 8 in a unit. So I did 8. I can use them as Spartans or Greeks. Some Amazon melee and Amazon archers. We'll take a closer look here at those. So Amazon archer, there she is. And these were, I think, done before my creatures were, to tell you the truth, or just right after some of them. So these were actually done a lot before the gods were. So again, it's trying to learn how to do the skin, trying to do faces. That was mainly what these were. So that's the archer. Amazon melee. And again, trying to do faces and all this. I didn't attach the shield till they were all completely painted. So that's and the spear wasn't attached either. That was glued in after. So something to think about. I'm not totally happy with the skin, but again, I'm not going to change it because this is part of trying to see if you're showing any growth or not. So I'm going to leave this. I've got some other models coming in for a different game I'm going to paint, and I'm going to compare how this looks. So there's that. And my Greek, which is my last one here. Here he is. So again, trying to learn the folds. I'm trying to work with the white, trying to learn skin, trying to do faces. And this is how he turned out. So that's it. So overall, I'm happy with how they turned out. And again, it's one of those I'm not going to change, like the Minotaur. I'm not going to change how it looks because I want to see, this is how I started. This is where I'm at now. Did I show any growth? So those are the models I'm using of Gods and Mortals right now. Who knows? Maybe I'll add some more. But that's I'm pretty happy with what I've got right now.